I think we can all agree that 7,000 miles is a long way to go for a little piece of paper. But that paper was a note that I was told was pinned to my daughter's sweater when she was found on a bridge as an infant in China. And I had been looking for that note ever since Rosie was placed in my arms. But the search got very real one day when she was around 3, and she explained to me, "Mom, you know, babies don't come from moms, they come from China." Oh, misunderstanding, sweetie. Yes, you come from China. We've always talked about that. But before that, you came from a mom. We have always said you were adopted. Oh, I thought you said I was a doctor. Well, we had the conversation. Yet again, it's not that we hadn't had it before, but this time she understood. And it was awful. Mommy, why did she throw me away? Did she not like me? Mom, do you know her? Can we call her? I mean, it made my heart hurt, and I was more determined than ever to find that note, if only to prove to Rosie that her worst fears were not true. So I wrote to her orphanage. I had done this before, but I did it again. Wrote to her orphanage, nothing. I wrote to the Central China Adoption Authority, the bureaucrats in Beijing who match you. Silence. I spoke to adoption officials here, who spoke to adoption officials there, got nothing. So by the time we were able to get back to China to look ourselves, Rosie was 11. And she wasn't really talking a lot about her birth mother. She was obsessed with the Hunger Games and begging me to get a dog. I said, we're going, no matter what. And after a long ride, and I mean 3 beers, pass out, panic attack, finish War and Peace long, we get to Nanjing. Next day, freezing January day, we take off for Yixing, the city where she was found. Our first stop is Huidi Bridge, the exact spot where she was found. Now, I had always pictured a beautiful crescent bridge, like in the ancient Chinese paintings. Yeah, well, Huidi is a concrete slab over a polluted canal, but it was our sacred spot. So we stood there. Again, it's a freezing day. We're on the bridge. It's very gray. I look at Rosie. She looks kind of teary. Oh, honey, I know, this is hard. Mom, this is so boring. Well, our next stop, I was so excited, was the police station. It was where she was taken after she was found, and we had never been able to identify it, but our translator found the precinct. And it had to be there. It was the only place it could be. So we get there, we are sent up and down and back and forth, and I'm getting anxious, I'm getting hot. Finally, we are sent to the office of the one person we're told can help. And I pour out my tearful request. And she smiles, my heart lifts. And she says, "Oh, all records before 2005 were lost in a fire." Oh, you heartless witch, you witch. How can you smile? Life was lost in that fire. A part of my daughter was lost in that fire. And I'm thinking, I have no tools here. I can't ask for the manager. I don't speak Mandarin. I can't cry because, yeah, who's going to be sorry for a white lady from New York? I have nothing. And Rosie is saying, "Mom, stop it. We're going to get arrested. It's the police. They're going to put us in jail." And our translator is saying, "Okay, we're going now." And she has her foot in my back, and we are out the door. And we have to show up at the orphanage where the note is not, as I know. We have lunch with the new director, and as we're leaving, she hands me this file. I'm telling you, it's the size of a suitcase. It's enormous. And I had to put it on the table in order to leaf through it. And what I see were adoption papers that I had signed 10 years ago. So I'm thinking, this is weird. So I'm paging through, and I see, stuck between two pages, is this ripped out, crumpled piece of paper with these sort of ballpoint marks. And I take it out gingerly because I don't want to rip it anymore. And I see Mandarin characters and numbers, and I see, well, I'm able to make out Rosie's date of birth, which of course I knew. And then the exact time of her birth, which only her birth parents could possibly know. It was the note. I hand it to Rosie. She looks at it, hands it back with this look like, yeah, Mom, but what I really, really want is a dog. So we're in the car. She's giving me grief. Mom, the note said nothing, so why did we even come? It's like, oh, honey, I know. It's disappointing. But the truth is, I was not disappointed. I got what I came for, because that note answered a question I never would have dared ask out loud. That note was proof. It was evidence that Rosie was not trafficked, and so was not someone's stolen daughter. Rosie was not left to die, as had been so many girls during the one-child policy years. Rosie was left to be found. Thank you.